For 2a, we have a circle that's here. So we need to get this into the proper standard form of a circle. We need the x minus h squared and y minus k squared equals r squared. That's what we want to put this into. So the way it is in this form, we have to do complete the square step in order to get it into the proper form. What we'll first do for this is to put it into kind of setting it up for us to do complete the square method. So I'm going to put the x terms together. I'm going to leave a space because I'm going to be doing the complete the square step there. I'm going to put the y's together, leave a space again, and then the 11 I'm going to put on the other side of the equation. So I'm first going to set it up by leaving some spaces in here. To complete the square steps work, you're going to take the number in front of the non-squared variable, you're going to divide it by 2 and then square it. And whatever number you get here, make sure you also add it over to the right hand side. So we would take 4 divided by 2, we would get 2, and then we would square the 2. You get a plus 4 here, and we're going to add a plus 4 on the opposite side. This one, we're going to take the number in front of the y, we're going to divide that by 2, we get 1. Then we square it, we also get 1. So then that number plus 1, you need to add that to their side as well. Now by doing that, we're going to end up creating something that factors into this. You got something quantity squared and something quantity squared here. So when you do the first step of the complete the square, where you take that number and divide by 2, that's actually the number that's going to go in here. We know first of all that this is an x and this is a y because that's the variables that we're using. But step number 1 to complete the square was divide this by 2, and we get positive 2, and that would go right there. For this one, when we take the number in front of the y and divide by 2, we get a 1. That number is going to go in here. Now on the right hand side, we're going to add these numbers together, and so when we add that together, we'll get 16. So now that we have it in the standard form, we now know what our center and radius is. So for our center, that's for that, you're going to take the opposite sign of each number you see inside the parentheses. And that's how you're always going to do that when you find the center. Opposite sign of plus 2, you get negative 2. Opposite sign of plus 1, we get negative 1. So negative 2, negative 1 would be your center. Now for your radius, you're always going to take the square root of the number after the equal sign, because standard form always has something written as a square. So I would write that as a square by writing it as 4 squared, or I can just, if I just take the square root of 16, that's also going to give me a 4. So now that I have that complete, it's going to ask me now to graph this one. What you're first going to do is you're going to go to plot the center. So for this one, put some markings on here. Negative 2 and negative 1 would be right there. Now to get some reference points that you can use to connect and make your circle, from the center, we're going to go up, down, left, and right an amount of 4, because that's what our radius is. So from here we're going to go up 4, so 1, 2, 3, we're going to go up 1 more to here. We're going to go to the left 4, so we'll take us over to here. Go to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, get a point right there, and then we're going to go down 4, which means that we're going to get a dot down below. So we go up, down, left, and right with our radius, and that gives us enough points now to connect and draw a circle. So then this is what your graph would look like.